just a few minutes, we will be starting our initial service, which will be our dinner service. And that is accompanied with cocktails or beverages. Midway through the flight, we'll have a light snack available. After our meal service is over, we will be coming through the aisles with our duty-free sales. You'll find that magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. Just keep in mind, however, as you are purchasing duty-free, that if you're continuing on to other domestic flights, you are restricted from taking gels, liquids, or lotions more than 3.4 ounces. We are taking only credit card sales for our duty-free at this time. Just to note also, we do ask for the safety and security of the flight that you use the lavatories in your ticketed cabin. And for security purposes, congregating near the cockpit or lavatories is prohibited. We do certainly realize that many of you will be sleeping this evening, so we ask that you buckle your seatbelt on the outermost garment, whether that be a blanket or a jacket. This is for your safety and also so we don't have to awaken you in the middle of the night if the seatbelt sign comes on to see if you are buckled up. You'll find a full listing of all audio and video programming. You'll find that in the seat pocket in front of you. We will be coming through during the flight sometime, distributing the documentation needed, and you should have that filled out and available as you go through the customs and immigration procedures. We do invite you now to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. If there's anything we can do to make you more comfortable or to help you in any way, don't hesitate to call on us.
Of my kid.
Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home. That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You're the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, people. How you doing, everybody? Appreciate you being here today on my show, on my stream here. We're in the lab right now. We're kicking it. We're in the lab, so we're kicking it back a bit. Appreciate you being with me today, though. I am the American Anchor Baby. Let's get some light up in here. Let there be light. Let there be light. Welcome, everybody. I'm the American Anchor Baby, and you are watching my stream right now. Thank you for tuning in. I will be taking calls and things. I want to get into a couple of things on my mind. A couple of things here real quick. I know that people are already paying their plantation dues for Plantation Tuesday. The people have kind of turned Tuesday into Plantation Tuesday. I see the coffees. I'm very grateful. Look. And I have RimWorld up right now, but look, I don't know. We're playing it by ear. Look, we're gonna go into a couple of these things I want to say first, okay, and then we'll see what happens, okay. So appreciate you being here. It is not Wednesday. Do not be a liar. Donut be a liar. It is in fact Tuesday, and I'm the American Anchor Baby. Welcome. You can call in. By the way, the lines are open. You could fill up the lines. If you get a busy tone, just call later. The lines are full. I'll get to calls quickly. But that's 844-900-2229, 844-900-BABY. If you want to call in, the Discord is open. Hit up the Discord. Join up the Discord. I'm in the chat. I'm in the voice chat. You can hit up the Discord and join up. If I'm unmuted and undeafened in the Discord, that means you can jump in and talk to the Anchor Baby. So thank you so much. I put the link in the chat. The link is also in the description if you want to join up the Discord. It's growing slowly, but it's going to turn into something amazing. We're going to do special things like a talent show. There's talk about a talent show. There's talk about movie nights and beyond. So thank you, everybody. Link is in the description. Link is in the chat if you'd like to join up. I'm currently live on rumble.com/American Anchor Baby, dlive.tv/Gorgonzola, punchy.tv, punchie.tv. You want to have that in your back pocket. Live on those channels as well as YouTube, of course. And we're here, okay? We did our housekeeping. Thank you so much. So, Amazing. So thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. How you doing? I know Trump is supposed to be speaking.
But what I see is
he may be speaking right now. In fact, I wasn't planning on watching this, so I don't think I'm going to.
They have.
He's in Flint, Michigan. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is talking.
I joined with everyone in. We know that you were tough. We saw it every day on the campaign. We saw it when you were president. But I don't think anybody was prepared for what we saw that day. And now it's happened not once, but twice. You've literally taken a bullet for our country, and yet you keep fighting. You never give up. The reason that you're going to win in November is because America needs a fighter. And we've never needed a fighter more, and we've never had somebody more qualified to step in and lead our country than you.
Another minute? I don't know. Let's see.
Tell us, why do you want to be president, and why do you continue fighting even after they keep attacking you every single day?
So we ran. Thank you, everybody. A lot of love in this room. I love you. You love me, and you love Sarah. A lot of... So
let's listen for a bit.
We ran in 2016, and it was amazing. It was amazing, and we won. We then ran in 2020, and we did much better than 2016. People don't like to hear it, you know. Oh, he's a conspiracy theorist, you know. We got millions and millions more votes. We did much better. It wasn't even a contest. I was telling one of the papers, they said, what was the difference? I said, well, the difference is we did much, much better the second time. But we had a lot of things happen. We know what those things are. So what difference? Because now in like 48 days or whatever it might be, we're going to do something that will be, I don't think it's going to shock the world, actually. I think the world is going to be maybe prepared already. In Europe, they want it to happen. Even though they would not prefer dealing with me in terms of the economics, they still want it to happen because the whole world is blowing up, and they know it's not going to blow up if I'm president here. But, so we did great. And honestly, if I didn't do great, if we know what happened, and if that didn't happen, if I didn't do well in 2020, I wouldn't even think about doing this. But we did phenomenally well, and bad things happened, and we're not going to let it happen again. And now, I'll tell you, so 2016, a lot of spirit. 2020, we had unbelievable spirit. And then we got let down because what happened should never be allowed to happen in this country again. But I have never seen the spirit like I've seen right now for this race. Never, ever. I've never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. It blows it away from 2016, from 2020. And basically, it's very simple. You're saying what? We're going to seal the border immediately. We're going to drill, baby, drill. You know, we're going to drill at a level. We're going to bring your energy prices down. We're going to try and get rid of a lot of that big lump of inflation that this administration has given us. And I have to say that President Biden called me yesterday. He was very nice. We had a very nice conversation. I appreciated that he called about, you know, what happened the other day. And he says, he's committed.
He said, that guy said, let's go, Brandon.
No, and today, a little while ago, I got a very nice call from Kamala. No, it was very nice. It was very nice. It was very, very nice, and we appreciate that. But we have to take back our country. We have to win. We're going to win, and we're going to make America great again. That's all there is to it. Very simple, right?
I think it's safe to say that this crowd will all be voting for you.
You know,
It's pretty safe to say, I think.
This state, it's so sad. Years ago, I was given, thank you very much, but years ago I was given an award as like Man of the Year or something from an area that nobody knew, and the press said, oh, it never happened. Well, then it did happen. They found out where it was, but it was like 15 years ago. A beautiful area, but nobody remembered it. Nobody remembered it all. All of a sudden, like through a miracle, they found out it did exist, and it was there. And I had the speech, and the speech was, don't let them take your automobile industry away. They're taking your automobile industry away. And I don't know why you do it. Now, I wasn't a politician. I was an entrepreneur. I was a real estate developer, doing great, having a lot of fun, doing a much simpler life than this. Who would think that a developer's life is simple, but it's a lot simpler than this. But I said, don't let them do that, because here I am in Michigan, and I was getting an award, and I'm making a speech. I'm saying, what am I going to say? But I just watched Common Sense. I saw them leaving for Mexico, leaving for China. Do you know that right now, and they weren't building them with me, they weren't building anything in Mexico having to do with cars with me, because I said, if you build it, we're going to put a 200%, you're not going to sell one car into this country. But right now, they're building some of the largest auto plants anywhere in the world ever built. I have a friend that does that for a living, very good at it. He's the best, I think. And he's actually a contributor, a supporter, but he builds the plants. And I say, you know, I'd like to go see a plant, a really great auto plant. You know, it's amazing technology, amazing what they do, really incredible, the amount of automobiles they can produce and the size of these things. I'd like to see a real modern plant. And he's the one that does them. And I said, so where would we go? I was hoping he'd say Detroit or someplace up here. But anywhere in this country, I'll take anywhere in this country, right? So will you, my greatest guy right over here. Stand up, will you, please? He's such a great guy. Oh, hi, everybody. We're going to bring him back. We're going to bring him back. We're not just going to keep, you know, you're losing your jobs, the whole thing, but just, so they're building. So I said, where would I go? And let's go take a look at a beauty. He said, well, we'll have to go to Mexico. I said, wait a minute, I'm not interested. No, I want to know here. He said, here we don't build top of the line. We build smaller plants. We build, we just, you know, there's just not that kind of a thing. And I said, isn't it sad? He feels that too. You know, he's a United States guy. But he said, if you want to see the big ones, you're going to have to go to Mexico. They're owned and built by China.
A little bit of Flint, Michigan stuff, okay? It was live, okay? I thought I'd show it. It was going on just now. It wasn't the plan to watch this.
We're going to sell them across our line, and we're going to take them, and we're not going to charge them tax. We're going to charge them, I'm telling you right now.
I like he's talking about the border and 2020, the things he knows, the things that electrify his base. And those are the topics that Republicans... Hold on, folks. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on.
What can you do? You have to do what you have to do, right? We have to be brave. Otherwise, we're not going to have a country left. So what's happening is they're building these massive auto plants, and they think they're going to make tens of thousands of automobiles and sell them in here. No tax, no nothing. It's not going to happen. When you put on tariffs are the greatest thing ever invented. You know, I took in $467 billion from China. Nobody else took in anything. And China's economy is not even doing that well. And Biden, you know, they have not been able, and Kamala, they have not been able to take those tariffs off because there's so much money. And frankly, if they did take them off, this
I think I can talk. I'm trying not to be too loud here. I gotta move my setup. Honestly, I gotta move.
It was going to be lifted at some point. Then we had COVID. We did a tremendous job in COVID.
I'll be back. Hold on.
Stock market that was higher than just prior to COVID coming in. And we did a great job. We never got credit. We got credit for the best economy maybe ever. We got credit for having defeated ISIS and having rebuilt our military. We shouldn't have given, Sarah, we shouldn't have given $85 billion worth of equipment to the Taliban, to Afghanistan. in I think the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. That whole thing was the most.
Hold on.
When we were leaving with me. I was the one that got it down to the right number. We were going to keep the big air base, which is exactly 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. Think of that. 1 hour away, and we gave it up. We just gave it up. One of the biggest.
Anyways, I'm trying to move on from this.
Billions of
I just don't want to be too loud right
ago.
now.
The runways can hold more weight than any runway ever built. Think of that. They're, I think, 19,000 feet long, which is, 3 times what a normal runway would be. It's called Bagram. And we were going to keep that because of China, not because of Afghanistan. 1 hour away from
I'll just go. Like, if I'm too loud, they'll let me know. Look. Trump's talking. Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, chat? People just joining now. New viewers in the chat. What's up? What's up? Yeah, he's talking about some other stuff. I stopped listening. I was trying to move on. Look, I like he's talking about 2020, seal the border. This is those are the things that his base likes, and those are the things that the media and even Republicans don't like. He got a lot of criticism for that. Lindsey Graham, I played you that clip, right, Lindsey?
The way we got out was so embarrassing, and because of that, first of all, 13 dead soldiers. I've gotten to know their families. They're incredible families, but they'll never be the same. Many badly injured, Nobody, Sarah, nobody ever talks about the soldiers that are badly injured. They talk about 13 dead, and we always have to say that, number one, and great families. But nobody ever mentions the fact that some of the soldiers were hurt so badly, the arms, the legs, the face, like obliteration. We left American citizens behind, and they're not too happy, I can imagine. But if they're living, and we also gave them $85 billion worth of the best military equipment, all beautiful, brand new, between the goggles and the planes and the armor-plated cars. We gave them armor-plated trucks and cars and vehicles and so much. And they're one of the largest sellers now today of military equipment in the world. They're selling this stuff. 777,000 rifles and guns. Think of that. How do you have that anyway? Who would put that? We have 71,000 trucks and cars. And again, many of them armor-plated. So what happened is when Russia looked at that, they said, we're going to invade. We're going to go into Ukraine. If that didn't happen, I don't think, and I guarantee you, if the election were a straight election, we won that election, we should have won that election, everybody knew we won the election, they would have never attacked. Putin never would have attacked. But the oil prices got driven up at $100 a barrel. He made money. He's the only guy who fought a war, and you make money fighting a war. But it got driven up because of their bad energy policies. But when he saw that, and you wouldn't have had, think of this, you wouldn't have had, how different would the world be? You wouldn't have had Ukraine being attacked by Russia. You wouldn't have had October 7th in Israel, where that horrible situation took place because Iran was essentially broke. They had very little money, and we would have made a great deal with them. All we want is we don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. Very simple. That's all we want. We don't want you to have a nuclear weapon. We would have made a good deal with Iran. They would have been happy. And I think they're going to end up being very unhappy, but it's very dangerous. They're very close to a nuclear weapon. And the other thing, you wouldn't have had inflation. You wouldn't have had inflation because inflation was driven up by their bad energy policy. And you remember your gasoline started going up to $5 and $6 a gallon. And then what happened?
Sorry about that, folks. I insist to have my little setup here, but people are trying to work here in the office, and so, but we're back. Okay, look, I'm gonna move off that. Whatever. Where was I? Look, honestly, Trump, cool, awesome. I forgot what I was saying. Moving on. Look, call me 844-900-2229. This is what let me just run through this. Let me just run through what I wanted to say. And then we can do something else. You notice everyone agrees on mic volume down. Whoa. Test. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2. How am I coming in now? Test. Weird background. No. Yeah. Hold on. I'll be right back.
You used to be the capital of the world in cars. Today, you're an afterthought in cars.
All right, I think we're good. I don't know that. Not trying to take a break. Okay, I think we're good. Just, I'm the rude one, really, kind of putting my stuff in front of everybody. Look, I wanted to just say this. I was thinking about the mind. Okay, have you guys noticed that everyone agrees the mind is crazy? Have you guys noticed that? Everyone agrees on this. It's a strange thing, but everyone agrees. And maybe you watch Jesse Lee Peterson, you watch the Bond Neck where you hear about not listening to thoughts, and you're like, that's crazy. Nobody says that. But everybody agrees the mind is crazy. Everybody does. Everybody agrees. They see a meme like this. I showed this to you before. So, a little bit of a redo, but everybody sees this meme and everybody agrees. You could be a liberal, you could be a Democrat, doesn't matter. But they see a meme like this, and the meme, this little comic is titled Organ Failure. And then here's the lungs. The lungs say, I breathe air for you. You're like, right, the lungs do that. That's what the lungs do. That's their purpose. Great. They're keeping the body full of air and oxygen to function. Let's see the heart. The heart does similar, it has its own functions, but it does it, and it does what it's supposed to do. It pumps blood. The liver filters waste. The brain, however, the brain, kill yourself, gives you suicidal thoughts, gives you depression. Like, people see this and instantly they all agree. The mind is crazy. It's a funny thing. Don't you agree? That's kind of pretty funny by itself already. And it's weird how everyone agrees that even if they heard a Bond or Jesse or whatever, people can hem and haw all they like, but notice everyone agrees that the mind is not something we can control. That the mind is in control of our emotions, and thoughts that come into the mind are levers that push us around and make us feel all sorts of things. The vast majority of people don't think about it this way, but they all agree. Have you noticed that? They call it mental illness. They call it depression. They call it anxiety, fear, sadness, loneliness, anger. Everyone agrees that we're not in control of the mind. Isn't that weird? And everyone agrees that the mind is sick. And of course, it's getting sicker. And you could look at more and more people being diagnosed with this or that. How am I coming in? Loud and clear? And so everyone agrees on the mind being crazy. Have you noticed that? Just wanted to mention that. I just wanted to mention that. Sorry, I'm a little thrown off. I just wanted to mention that real quick. And then I was thinking about vices. What is a vice? Is it a sin? Are these vices sins? What's the Bible say? I mean, the Bible talks about all sorts of stuff that you could call vices and stuff. Greed. I mean, they call them deadly sins. No, does the Bible call them deadly sins, or is that just the Catholics? I mean, the Bible tells you to flee from sexual immorality. Pride goes before destruction. You know, refrain from anger. Let us not be conceited, provoking one another. The soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing. Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat. You know what I mean? All sorts of vices, right? In fact, you could even say, maybe you could even say, does the Bible call some of those things sins? I don't know. It calls it idolatry at times, evil desires at times. It calls it immorality. But it seems like a lot of people care about vices. I was actually talking with a buddy just the other day. And let me hit you with this one. It's like, what's the difference? What is it? Is it a sin? What is it? Well, how can you categorize this? How can we categorize? What is it? Well, hit me. You can call me. Tell me where I'm wrong. 844-900-2229. A vice is anything the spirit of evil convinces you to do to escape reality. And not everything you do to escape reality. Have you noticed that it's only some things you have a problem with, in a sense? Look, it's like anything that you do, anything that you're convinced to do to escape reality, the reality of your situation, whatever it may be, whatever the reality of your situation is, you escape that reality and really seeing where you are. Let's talk finances. Let's talk health. Let's talk relations. Let's talk anything you want there. That's a vice. Also, or reality itself. That we are being controlled in the mind. And really, really, really knowing that. Really knowing that. Like really knowing that we're being controlled in the mind. The vice is anything the spirit of evil convinces us to do to escape that reality, so that we may never come to know that. So that we may never come to know that we are being controlled with this depression, anxiety, all these things. And we don't want to do these things that harm us, waste our time, leave us empty, but evil convinces us to do so that it may stay hidden. Something I was thinking about. You know, I'm mentioning this too because I've been having a bunch of callers too that I appreciate the calls. I wonder if some of you are here. I was thinking about you. You're not here, so don't worry. And look, your life's supposed to get better. Don't get all confused with knowledge or emotions. Just be careful, okay? I don't like seeing my callers. It's not that I don't like it, but your life is supposed to get better. And it's not because you're getting deeper and deeper into evil. And I know this is true because Jesse will be asking people what their lives would be like if they didn't listen to their thoughts. Atheists, psychologists, lawyers, Christians, Jews, Muslims, non-Christians, they all agree that they would be free. They would be free if they did that. And I think I heard a caller earlier today on one of the shows. You know, he heard about the silent prayer, but doesn't know what's the point or what, like, he doesn't know what he's supposed to do with his life, so he stopped. And his life was getting worse, but he's like, why though? I wonder why. Anyways, some of the worst people I know are trying to overcome, or have overcome vices in a sense. They still have fear. And you'll know it too when they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed or fearful about certain things. Like the gamers, I don't know, this is probably a bad example. Probably because I have RimWorld up. We might get into the plantation, but there's something I got to do before that. We'll see. Notice you get into this false reality and you escape, and just like drugs, just like anything, you could just game your life away. But not everybody does that. Maybe a whole bunch of people do. Maybe the vast majority, but. So I don't get embarrassed when I'm like playing RimWorld. I don't waste my life on video games. I barely play. I'm just too busy. But you ask others, they'll like hide it. They feel embarrassed. They feel guilt. And that guilt will make you think that it's like that fear will make you misdiagnose things. You start misdiagnosing, saying the games are making school shooters. And wait, no, you have sin in you, son. and this sin does not want to be discovered. So it gets you to escape reality. I want to run through this quick. The things I was thinking about. You call me if you want to talk. I gotta do something else here in a moment. Running through this. Let me get through this fast. Trump assassination. Let me go through this fast. All this rhetoric, they're saying the media is at fault.
Comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on today's apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio. This weekend, there were new bomb threats in that town. Our Maggie Vespa is in Columbus, Ohio, with more.
Lester, simply put, Springfield, Ohio has been inundated by threats. Over the last several days, closing government buildings, schools, hospitals. Today, effectively closing a local university campus after administrators said someone threatened a mass shooting targeting Haitians. This in light of, officials say, a false online conspiracy theory alleging Haitian immigrants in that city are eating people's pets.
So they're sharing this clip. They're trying to say Lester Holt here with NBC is basically blaming Trump. They're blaming Trump and his rhetoric about the Haitians. That's why he got, today's apparent assassination attempt comes after increasingly fierce rhetoric. See, he got this. Today's assassination attempt comes after all these misinformation and lies about Haitian immigrants. So they're sharing this video saying the media is at fault, blaming Trump for these assassins. It's his fault. It's his rhetoric. They're alluding to that, right? Is why they're sharing this clip. And they got this and this is kind of the general vibe. This is the message. This is the message many are trying to put forth. In fact, here you got Peter Doocy. I think this is his name. Peter Doocy. He's over there in the White House, always talking to Karine Jean-Pierre. He's one of these reporters who talks to the White House press secretary and asks the big tough questions.
It's been only 2 days since somebody allegedly tried to kill Donald Trump again. And you're here at the podium in the White House briefing room calling him a threat. How many more assassination attempts on Donald Trump until the president and the vice president and you pick a different word to describe Trump other than threat?
So it's like you guys keep using this language and calling him a threat. You guys keep doing this. You guys want him killed. You guys are fomenting violence.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
So they're sharing the videos. They're saying it's them. It's that side. Their side foments anger. And look, fair criticisms. Look, they'll share the video of Maxine Waters saying, find them. What does she say again? She's like, when you see them out on the streets, make it tough for them or whatever. I'm paraphrasing, but she's And look. Fair criticisms aside for a moment, the line of attack is a little weak. What moral high ground does anyone have on this truly? And it's important to go against this because this is all a justification of all the evil people who say what Bond is doing. They say Bond is radical, is doing this or that, is causing. One day some really evil people say one day someone's going to do something horrible and it'll be Bond's fault because they'll be like a Jesse Lee Peterson viewers. They'll go crazy. They'll say some of the craziest things. And we're going to justify that line of attack by saying that this person, these two people who tried to kill Trump, were asked to by the media. No, let me be real. I mean, yeah, the punch in the face. Yeah, you can definitely condemn. Look, they're happy with the punch a Nazi in the face. They at least early on the Trump years, they seem like the angrier side, willing to Black Lives Matter and Antifa your face and not care. But I've come to see in these years that the Republicans are just as angry. I mean, that's why they don't win. I've come to see in these years that it's the same spirit really guiding a whole bunch of the people, even if they differentiate themselves with these sides. And and don't get me wrong, some of this is really egregious stuff. When Don Lemon says,
is white terror threat in this country.
When Don Lemon says the worst terror threat, the biggest terroristic threat is white men in this country, he is echoing this call. He's echoing these calls for basically Americans, white Americans, to go away. And it justifies anything done to them and their and America being changed. So don't get me wrong, but you understand that nobody here said go kill Trump. They didn't. They may have, all you could say is they have this anger in them, and this spirit of anger is a murderer. This spirit of anger is raising children. But the Republicans have it too. Okay, America is an angry place. They're sharing this video of the FBI visiting the home of this Jeremy Kaufman, owner. Anyways, allegedly, according to this Brian Krasenstein fella, he tweeted, anyone who Kamala Harris would be an American hero, which I, of course, disavow. Like, that's not even a joke. That's Look, what I'm trying to say here is, I'm going to show you the video, I guess, a little bit here, and Jeremy Kaufman here stands up to the FBI, and all over the comments, people are like, right on, F the FBI. But in what world do you think that's okay to write that anywhere? You have to not be thinking, and angry people don't think, to say something like that, to tweet something like that. I mean, that's just a lie on its face. Anyone who does that would be an American hero. Because the question would remain, what would that change? What would change? That might make things way, 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 way worse. And you're going to call him an American hero? This hypothetical person that this Jeremy Kaufman is talking about. And they're saying he's such
how can I help you?
He's awesome. I didn't even see the video, to be honest with you. It might be totally awesome. Don't get me wrong. It might be totally awesome. And he, FBI. I mean, look, these people came up to him from a social media post, an egregious one. But a social media, nonetheless, he's not come. That might be a crime. So don't quote me on that. But and this is an increasing thing, censorship regime. Don't get me wrong here. The Republicans love this censorship regime stuff.
Hey, how can I help you? Is that sufficient to identify as only one O'Donnell affiliated with the FBI?
In New Hampshire, yes.
Could you please state your full name, sir?
Could you please stop recording?
No. It's First Amendment right.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
Could you stop recording, please?
Absolutely not. You can show me your name and identification, or I'm going to go back inside my house.
Okay. I don't really want to broadcast my...
Oh, this is going out right after you guys walk away.
So that's why I'm not going to...
So you can show me your name and ID, you can walk away.
We just want to talk about something.
I'm not going to talk to people who claim to be federal agents unless they can show me identification.
Okay, well, you see our badges.
I need to see... Is your full name on that badge?
No.
I'd like to see something with your full name or I'm not going to talk to you.
I prefer you not to broadcast it.
This will be going online as soon as you walk away.
Well, All I want to do is talk to you about a post that was made, and if you
Well,
happen to be the one that made the post.
I want to talk to you about you guys coming here. Say you make a salary of, I don't know what, low 100K? You guys making six figures? Factor in 50% expenses, overhead, maybe 100% expenses. Talking about burning a couple $100 an hour just here, let alone all the time you guys are spending to investigate something that you know is not against the law, right? Like you're familiar with. So then why would you come?
Because we wanted to make sure that there weren't any.
No, you're coming because you're part of a regime that does this kind of thing when you know laws aren't being broken.
Okay, so we're taking it in. Can we really say it's really? Can we really? If you just see this and go, look at the tyrants. This guy did nothing wrong. Free speech. Maybe there's something I don't get. Call me. About to get the calls here, and then we'll just rock back to back to back calls. But it wasn't. He's not just. So I mean, according to them, he didn't commit a crime. So we got some information on that. It's interesting. They're just investigating, okay? And I don't think the FBI is full of patriots who love America and all that. But let's just say for a moment, let's assume the FBI wasn't corrupt like that or something. And they're just investigating someone publicly calling for the murder of like a president. Is this the like he said, and it kind of makes sense they don't want to put their names out there. They don't have to do that. Who said that's part of their job? We have to broadcast our names as FBI agents to the world just because, I mean, I guess he's allowed to film, but I guess you guys like this video a lot or something. I guess you guys like it a lot, and I'm not saying I dislike it, but he's this guy. This guy was saying anyone who murders Kamala Harris would be an American hero. Like, are we just gonna ignore that part? To make the point about the anger is in both sides. Like, what's smart? Let's say the feds are they're just way too involved. They get involved in they're overbearing. It's unconstitutional what these feds do. And so all this about America and you're going to go online and type that in. You have to be an angry person to not think ahead and not think beyond your own emotion of, yeah, this is the right thing to type. That's ridiculous, okay? It's ridiculous. Also, the mental illness thing. I'll just say, America is an angry place. There's crazy people, and they're taking their craziness and shooting people. But, this last guy, I don't know, is can we really say that? This Wesley Routh guy, he's just crazy. He's just a crazy guy. Also very connected, weapons, mass destruction charges. Was recruiting mercenaries for the American Foreign Legion. He's just a weirdo. I don't know myself. So I'm going to stop there before I talk about things I don't know. So I wanted to say that real quick. The Trump assassination and that stuff. Amazing. So I guess I don't need to. That's really all I had. I want to get to Greg, I believe. Greg, how you doing? You're on the air.
Hey, Nick.
What's up, Greg?
Yo, so I heard what you were saying earlier about the meaning of the word vice.
Yes.
Luckily, I don't know. I never really thought about it too much. And I'm really young. I'm only like 23. My birthday's in a couple of days. Nice. But I don't know. I didn't really know about the word vices and people talking about it other than when I got my first job. I learned that vice grips are a thing. It's like a tool that grabs something. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess what they're trying to say that vice means is it's something that's like got a hold of you, I guess, and you can't let go of it. Maybe.
That's cool. I didn't think about it like that. Exactly, man.
Yes, and I'll tell you what. I don't think I ever thought I had vices, but I do know so many people who, just like you told me, you said that your friend was talking about it. People do think they have vices, and then they also, I've noticed, a lot of people equate the word, or they think the words are the same. Vices and sin are the same, just like you were saying earlier too. A lot of people say that.
I've heard that.
Right. So, but I don't know. And then maybe since somebody said that, you know, I don't know. Sometimes somebody says something, you believe it just because they said it. But when I really started thinking about somebody who said that, it's like, you know, I am my vices, and it's like, are you really? Like, who are you really? You know what I mean? So it didn't really stick with me, but some people think that they're their vices.
And so what do you think?
Right. And I don't know, just I feel like if you think you have a vice and then you try to get rid of it, you're just going to fall deeper into it, right?
Well, what do you think?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I've just noticed that from experience.
Yeah, sure. I've tried to stop something before, and then it just was very difficult and got worse, or I'd do something, and then I'd like, oh, why'd I do that? That was stupid. And then I would try not to do it again, and then I'd end up doing it 10 times. Like, this is an example. I don't know if I've done this. I probably have, but I'd probably be like, yo, I've been smoking weed every day. I better stop smoking weed. Okay, tonight's the night when I'm going to stop smoking. And then sure enough, I'll smoke a whole field.
Yep.
You know the deal.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
But, you know, that's probably happened to me a couple times, but, you know, it's a real thing. Anyways.
It's a vice, and I call it that because,
yeah.
As opposed to, for example, there's things that people call a vice, but how do I put it? It wasn't a big deal. They were with a...
I gotta get going, Nick. It was nice talking to you.
Take care, Greg. Appreciate you, call.
Peace out, bro.
Hey, who's this? I think this is Boston. How you doing? On the air.
My man, how you doing?
Hey, back off your phone a little bit.
All right, am I too close?
Possibly. I'm not sure what it is.
Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, can you hear me? All right. So basically, I'm Donald Trump. Does he want to win this election or not? I mean, I just.
Sorry, man. I gotta let you go. Your phone's crazy. 844-900-2229. That sounded crazy in my ears. I don't know how it sounded for you, but it sounded absolutely insane in my ears. And I've had some of that, but this is really, really bad. Sorry, I don't know. Call me back. It might work. But that was impossible. Yeah, okay, look. Yeah, 844-900-2229. We'll do this real quick. Let's just do this real fast. Okay. You know, they're talking about the Haitian dirt. The Haitian dirt cookies. They keep talking about this stuff. You know, it's a incendiary topic, right? The Haitians and the cookies and the cats and the dogs. It's been a pretty incendiary. It's been pretty incendiary. Okay, it's got people going. And this is a video from like 5 years ago. And this is like some cook on YouTube doing this series of struggle meals called Hard Times. It was kind of an old video, 5 years ago. But this video is, you know, they're talking about the Haitian dirt cookies. We're Googling. I come across this video, and it was pretty controversial back then, according if you read the comments. and she made these cookies. She says they're recipes. She does this series, apparently, of different recipes from times of scarcity. It seems like Katie may have continued to be in times of scarcity. It's been a while. But yeah, this was even controversial back then, according to some of the comments. And one comment in particular I wanted to point out here real quick. And you can imagine many comments like this one, but we'll point this one out to make the point. Gyro Poodle. As a Haitian woman, having you do this put me on edge. Why? Because I saw the documentary and others similar to it. The result? Finding a new door to endless criticism and added stigma. I found myself watching with bated breath to see your reaction, as I truly love your channel. To see something I've grown up with, analyzed, treated, and considered with respect nearly brought tears to my eyes. A country doesn't have to choose to be poor or impoverished, and though not all of us as Haitians are like this and need to eat these cookies, I have family and friends that are currently in this situation. Thank you, love, for treating each recipe you choose to try with dignity. And there's comment after comment that's like, oh, I was hoping she was going to say this or that. And all I see is evil. All I see is evil in the chat. All I see is evil in the comments. That's so evil. To have this emotion about it. Like, oh, I'm wondering if you're gonna be nice about it. Are you gonna be nice about that we eat dirt cookies? Be nice about it. Are you gonna be nice about it? I was just watching with bated breath to see if you're gonna be nice about the fact that there's people that eat dirt in Haiti and all that. You gotta rip the Band-Aid. Anything other than that's so evil. The emotion about it. You know that's gotta be controlling so much. Controlling what doesn't get said. And you notice, I think I said this the other day, but you hear, there's all this talk about race, okay? There's all this talk about race, and you may have even heard Jesse say, I think I mentioned this the other day, sometimes Jesse will say, like, the blacks are cursed or something, or he just wonders out loud, are they cursed? Are they cursed? It seems like it. And you get all sorts of people who get pretty mad about that commentary, and they wonder what you mean. Are you talking about genetics? Like, are you saying their skin color and they're just born like this? But you don't even have to go there, because I'm not going there. You don't have to go there, and just speak on what's evident, on what is evident, right? Like what is happening. What I'm trying to get at is that, just to get past all this, what I'm trying to get at is that I noticed that there are people who reject their culture, in a sense. They reject it in many ways. Like, look at like well-educated blacks, or they're wealthy. They don't act and speak in the ways their culture dictates they should. And that's a small way. What I'm trying to get at is that only the people who can kind of be honest and admit the Haitians are eating dirt and the whites are doing this can overcome culture. Because you could tell someone who speaks in that way isn't bothered by, first, the evident realities, and they also not going to put on themselves, well, because I am black or because I am this or that, I must be like everybody else. They're in that very moment, they like overcome culture. And you can tell because they speak in a way that you might think it's crazy. You might think they call them Uncle Toms, for example. That's just one example. They call these individuals, they call them all sorts of stuff. That's just one example. So there's this major jealousy of the whites, and kind of being able to joke about that, being able to like say that, yeah, they're eating dirt. Yes, my people are eating. If you're able to like have no ego about that and say that, it's a sign that you're one of these people who's overcoming all that culture stuff. And that's the key. That's the key. Don't you think that's in my opinion, the key? And what am I talking about? The key, like Well, when you look at some place like Haiti, like how do you explain that? How do you come out of that hell? How does a people come out of that? Honestly, I forgot my point, but whatever. Look, whatever. Let's get to this person. Aaron, I think it's Aaron.
Yeah.
How you doing, sir? On the air.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Go ahead.
Hey, man, you just had a caller in there that was talking about, I think they were saying whatever they had, something they like to indulge in, but they tell themselves they're going to quit or leave it, and later on they find themselves like overindulging in it.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I just heard that caller. Yeah, we just had that caller.
Yeah. I was going to say, in that moment, I think is like, that's the beginning. If I don't know if the guy can hear me or whatever, or I'd like to hear your opinion on this as well. That moment where that's like where the devil gets you, right when you have it's like pretty clear, but right when you get that urge again, right after you said that you're gonna quit, when you get that urge, there's like a fear that bubbles up in you, where you're like, oh no, here it is, that urge. That's, I think, what Jesse talks about, where you have to sit through that. Don't react to it. The thought just came. Watch it. And in my experience, when I didn't trust that thought and I just watched it and just relaxed, I didn't do anything, then all of a sudden behind it were a bunch more thoughts that came with it. And that's like the hell, because I get fearful of like, am I about to do that thing again? And then all of a sudden I get like confused of, am I right now reacting or not reacting? You know what I'm saying? It's like a swirl, but it happens so fast, and it's just, if you look, like I timed it once, and it's like 2 minutes. It's just like 2 minutes, but it passes right by. The urge like completely leaves. You know what I mean? If you just give it a second. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right on, man.
Does that make any sense?
It makes total sense. It makes total sense, man.
But
yeah, that's the
but
grip.
So,
that's that grip. What?
So, what'd you say?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's like that first moment is how it gets you, because you have a fear that the urge is even there again. You know, after you said that you swore it off.
Yeah.
So it's like I guess I think the key there is it's weird though, because I guess you can't. I don't know, man. I guess watching it is the whole thing, but I get the pain though. You know, I feel like it feels like you already did something wrong just by the urge, but it just takes like a little bit of patience. It's just like a tiny bit of patience to watch it for a moment, and I think it like subsides. Did you?
I think that's what he's. I think that's what Devil's trying to make you like not see. He's trying to keep you from that.
Yeah.
And so that's why my definition of that's why ergo my definition of vice. It's not even the thing. It's just whatever the devil's trying to use to keep you from knowing that he's controlling you.
Yeah.
To fool you and keep you thinking, worried about this, so you can't know that he's in control of you. And if you really knew that, he wouldn't be in control of you. And so he's distracting you with devices. But the different, not everyone has. Not it doesn't work the same for everybody. So, for some people it's this, and some people it's that. Your flavor, whatever you're into, but it's all a distraction from what's on the other side of that. Knowing that he's controlling you. Knowing that for real that he's controlling you. The devil.
Yeah. I was having a conversation with someone about this, and it's sort of like, it's kind of your fault, because you're kind of hiding it from God. You're calling it a vice, but really you're just hiding this thing from God, and the devil knows you're hiding it, so he's like using it against you. Does that make sense, or does that fall in line with what you were saying? Well, if you're being honest with yourself, you would just say that you did this thing with something, and that's the end of it. If you want to stop it or whatever, it's not even in your mind anymore. It's just you did it. You're unhappy with whatever happened, and then you move forward. You're like, okay, that's it. It's already decided. You don't even have to think like, I'm going to stop this thing. It just naturally just happens. You know what I mean? But when you construct this whole thing of like, this thing is the thing that's doing this to me, and I'm going to call it my vice instead of just, you know what I mean?
I think so.
It's like you think you're hiding it from God, but you're not. You really, maybe, am I going in circles?
I'm not sure. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, it feels like, it seems like you're trying to hide it from, you can't hide it from God, but since you're trying to hide it, I guess, from yourself, right? The devil knows that, and he uses it against you. It's like when you least expect it, all of a sudden. Maybe I'm thinking pretty hard.
I don't
about
think it's
it, right?
that. Well, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm trying to apply it to myself. I'm like, I don't even know if any my ego thinking is that deep. It's not that well thought out. It's just like impulse. It's impulse and instant and lizard brain and but sorry, go on. What were you saying?
I think I just overcomplicated it. I think I was done way before.
Yeah, totally.
I think that was it, man. So cool. Thanks.
Man, Aaron, call me again, sir.
Yep.
Hey, thank you, Birdie Bound. Brian says the art of ripping the Band-Aid off. And very generous, man. Thank you so much. Terry Strange says maybe the real feds are just the friends we made along the way. What's up, feds in the chat? Shout out to the feds in the chat. This is a love stream. Do you have nothing to see here? Nothing. We're talking about love. So, I don't know. Figure it out. Thank you. Matthew says, just be like a kid. Should be easy. Everyone was one before. And Bob, Harmony, Spike Protein, Terry, Kale, all you guys. It says you guys all donated today, but I don't think you did. Chris, Leo Gonzalez, Mario Baldo, Carver. It says all of you donated today, but YouTube is an unusable website. Wholly unusable. Thank you anyways. I'm almost positive these are all from other days. Boston, I think we got Boston in the house. Go ahead. Boston in the house.
Hey, Nick, is the phone any better this time?
Way better.
All right, good. I'm in my car this time. And
hey, right on. Well, thank you for that. And thank you for calling back.
Of course, Nick. I really want to contribute to the show in reference to what you were talking about with Trump's remarks. Like, I don't see the sense in what he's been up to since the debate. Like, it's almost like he wants to lose. Like, why he didn't have to make that statement about the cats and dogs. It was it's just controversy that he didn't need on top of the controversy that he already has. And then on top of that, he talks about, I hate Taylor Swift. It's like he's fumbling in the end zone. We're in a tied game, it's overtime, and he's fumbling. It's like these unforced errors are not going to bode well for him. And unless he course corrects and stays much more laser focused on the issues, the policies, he's going to,
like which,
I could see him losing. Mm-hmm.
You can see him, go ahead.
I could see him losing, and I don't want him to lose. I mean, I don't know why he all caps, I hate Taylor Swift. And you and I both know hatred is of the devil, right? We don't want to talk like that. And the whole thing with the cats and dogs things, he could have made the point so clearly that they're overrunning the city. He didn't have to go there. He didn't have to pick up a controversial news story to make that point. And I feel like if I could see it, and I'm not a politician, and I'm not in the weeds, how come he can't see these easy misses?
But what is it that you're seeing?
I see unwise choices by a politician.
And how is it that you saw that?
When I watched the debate and I saw him make the cats and dogs statement, and I waited.
So you heard him make the statement, but you're saying you could see he's making a mistake what is indicating this to you? Because is it just that he made the comment and you heard it, and so when you heard it, you felt something inside, and then you came up with this thought?
No, it's.
So what made you
I'm
see it?
observing
Because you're saying you see it. That's an interesting.
Yeah, maybe the wording is off, but I'm observing the backlash.
Oh, okay. So you saw people don't like it.
Yeah, I'm observing the.
But who doesn't like it?
The people that don't like it are it for this thing. Is it cats and dogs thing? I think it crosses the spectrum from people that support him to people that don't support him. I'm not.
And where are you seeing this? Where are you seeing this cross-spectrum distaste and dislike of the cats and dogs comment?
I'm on Clubhouse a lot, and I have a pretty big following on Clubhouse. You know that app that Jesse actually was on recently.
Isn't Clubhouse mostly black?
I don't know.
Clubhouse is like all black people. That's not.
I don't know if
fair.
it's all black people, bro. But you know what I mean. It's like
Clubhouse is black internet. That's not fair.
Is it? Okay.
No, I really haven't been on Clubhouse. No. But I mean, that's a fair statement. I'm not denying that. I'm not on Clubhouse, and you're saying you're seeing it all over Clubhouse from the left and the right. They don't like the cats and dogs comment. I ask you this because, from my experience, I can't. For me, it seems like, it seems it's. I wouldn't come up with that. I wouldn't say that. From what I've seen, I wouldn't conclude that it's a cross-spectrum dislike of that. I think he's made very specific different groups and factions mad, some of them mad and some of them happy. And I can explain them and with evidence on which ones. But it's the media, women, and his own base. He's turned off women. He's turned off Democrats. He's turned off the media. He's turned off Lindsey Graham. He was all like, "Oh, he did horrible in the debate." He turned off this other this Fox Rhino, who was like, I don't know. He was just. I'm paraphrasing, but he didn't like how tough he was. He immigration, it's turning people off, and cats and dogs, it's turning people off. So he turned off all those people, and yet he way turned on his base. Conservatives, men, people who speak masculine people who like speaking freely. For me, it's not cross spectrum. It's quite clear who he's turned off and on with these comments.
But he's preaching to the choir. Those people he's already got. Why would you make that statement when you can just say something like they're overrunning the city? Which I agree with his larger point. It's just that he's taking a controversial news story that's rooted in some witnesses.
Did you just wake up? Did you just meet Trump? Is this your first video of Trump? Is this your first Trump
Not
video?
At all.
Is
Not
this
at
the
all.
first
I
Trump
voted
rally
for him
or first Trump debate you've ever seen in your life?
Not at all. I'm asking you to recognize with me that we're in a heated battle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If we lose to Kamala Harris, we're in a lot of trouble as a country. And why are you giving these unforced errors to the other side? They're already going to.
But says you. They're already what? They're already what? My apologies. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, he's in a heated battle with someone who's going to take this country down. We can agree on that. My point is, why are you giving ammunition in these waning weeks of the election? Why are you giving your enemy ammunition to shoot back at you? That's my only thing. He could have made that point, a stronger point, if he just said, listen, the town of Springfield, Ohio is being overrun with the population of immigrants who were given TPS status by this administration. Something like that. Why are you going to they eat cats and dogs based on what 2 or 3 people are saying in J.D. Vance's district? It's like, even J.D. Vance, he can't
More than
really
2 or
back
3
it up
people.
by saying, I mean, come on. I haven't heard one person get on camera and say it. But even
There's
still,
countless. I'll show you some videos now. There's countless people saying they're eating their. The operative word is pets, and that's the word that's got people are like, oh my God, he's gone too far, because this is unsubstantiated, right? It's been debunked if you ask the mainstream media. Because yeah, fine, and even the police over there are saying no, there's no reports of them eating someone else's pets, but that's a very specific scenario. They're still doing all this other stuff. But here's the point, man. You're saying you want me to understand alongside with you that we're in a heated moment, and right now you can't give ammunition. But have you noticed that it's like Trump can't win. They were literally saying the exact same things about him when before the cats and dogs, when he was like being quite moderate and saying, oh, well, you know, I won't do a federal ban on abortion, and you know what? Well, let's stamp the green cards on every diploma of every person who comes to our universities. You know, and they were saying literally the exact same wordings too. That's what's funny about it. They were saying, "Why are you giving ammunition? Why are you we're in an election?" You know, all sorts of criticisms. And the cats and dogs things. I mean, have you at least amended some of your thinking since the day he said it? Because it sounds like you heard him say it, you saw the backlash, but have you seen since then that that's all people are talking about?
Yep, definitely. It's
what's your name again? What's your name again? I'm sorry.
I go by my clubhouse name, Manfinity.
Listen, man. That's a win. That's a win, man. That's all people are talking about, and they're looking it up, and they're like, "Oh my God, Trump is saying lies about pets." But hey, damn, he's kind of right. He is right about all this other stuff, though. Hello, this is classic Trump. This is classic. Wait, hold on. This is Trump. This is the Trump. Did you like Trump in 2016?
I voted for him from the day he came down the escalator.
So then you've seen Trump. You're used to this. Why all of a sudden are you getting all scared alongside the media? You're saying what the media is saying. Have you noticed that he's pissed off with the cats and dogs?
I'm just concerned that he's making an unforced error in these last few weeks.
That's what they were saying when he was not doing this. That's what they were saying when he was not talking like this. They were saying, why is he doing these unforced errors? They're calling it unforced errors.
I wasn't saying that. And when he said, I hate Taylor Swift, where did that come from? Why?
Whatever.
Hate? Come on, bro. Hate?
Come on, bro. What?
That's a strong word.
You think Swifties are going to vote for Trump? What are you talking about, man? You're like, we're in an election. You got to win over who? Who's he supposed to win? Tell me. Is he going to win the abortion the childless cat ladies who love to kill the children in the womb? Is he going to win them over? Do you think he's going to
want him to?
Wait, no, but I'm asking a question. Do you think he's going to get any votes from the abortion ladies?
No.
Do you think he's going to get any votes from the people who, you know, think he's being racist for calling out the Haitians?
No, those people are already.
Do you think he's going to get any votes from any of these people you think he's supposed to be moderate with?
The undecided is where he's going to lose.
No.
The people that are still
But you don't get more undecideds but you don't get those undecideds by running to the middle. And okay, you get those undecideds by being you, the ones that got the undecideds in the first place, the ones that woke up all those people who never cared about politics in the first place. You get those undecideds by being you. You're not going to win over the Democrats. You're not winning over these ladies who already hate the men and want to kill in the womb and don't care about anything else. Mm-hmm. These undecideds you're talking about aren't going to be won over with wishy-washy stuff, you know? And if you notice, Trump, I think, is doing this on purpose. I don't think he's just... I don't personally, if you ask me, I don't think he's just all of a sudden being tough guy Trump from 2016 because, I don't know, he's mad. I think he saw the polls. I think he's seen the hit in the polls. I think he's seen ever since, because before they were up against Biden. It was going to be easy peasy. Kamala Harris comes around. It's kind of been a shakeup. And you know, according to like political commentary I really respect, it's been quite a shakeup. And I think they're feeling it. I don't think Trump is just out of nowhere being 2016 Trump just cause, you know. I think it's because he knows it's what'll help him win. So I don't think it's coming, you know, this is in response to your commentary on, doesn't he know he's in an election? Like I think he is trying to win, personally, if you ask me. I think the cats and dogs comment and this energy is him trying to win.
Okay. I just thought it was objectively clear to me and to you and to people who are, you know, clear-thinking Americans could see that those things are objectively not good for him in this climate. I understand,
but he's killing it with this, though. That's why I'm asking you to amend your original thinking about this. If you just look at the betting markets, the media, what anybody is talking about is what Trump is talking about. He is the winner. He is framing the conversation. Everybody's talking about what he wants them to talk about.
So yeah,
and notice who's mad at him. Notice who's mad at this energy. The same olds who were mad at him in 2016, the never Trumpers, the rhinos, the media, the women, and beta males who are worried about what other people think about you, as opposed to just saying the truth. No, I'm not talking. Wait, why are you going? Oh, I'm not talking about you, man.
Because it sounded like you
no,
by calling me a beta male.
No. It sounds like you like. It sounds like you like Trump and you like men who say the truth. I'm just pointing out.
I want to win.
Go ahead.
I do. I would like the man. I'm not offended by these statements. But to me, they're just unforced errors. And I understand all the points that you made are valid. He's making the political calculus that this is going to help him, and you think that's why he's doing it. And I thought about that, but I just can't make a case for how just because he's in the headlines, just because people are talking about what he's talking about, he's getting a ton of negative press. I don't see any positive in this. He's bringing attention to an issue.
Negative press from who?
Negative press from everybody.
Wait, who's everybody? No, he's not. First of all, no, he's not. Just scroll down, make even a fresh account with no follows, and just scroll down x.com. You'll see that's not true. It's coming from the media, man. It's coming from MSNBC. It's coming from Lester Holt. It's coming from Maggie, what's her face? It's coming from the people who hate him. And this shouldn't be a surprise. Don't get nervous now. This is good. All the right people are hating his commentary. And it shouldn't be a surprise because we've been through this before.
So if he loses, and I don't want him to lose, but if he loses, I will look back on these incidents as what sealed it for him. But, I hope he wins with these comments. I mean, I just think that these comments, he could have made them. He didn't have to say the Taylor Swift.
But man, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the geese. They're eating the geese, man.
I get it. He on that debate stage, he could have just said, "Man, the city's being overrun. The resources are being overrun." Yeah, it wouldn't have made the headlines that he would have got with the cats and dogs. But he's being roasted as being a racist who thinks Haitians. And another thing, why does he keep saying that migrants are taking black and Hispanic jobs, bro? He needs to amend that and say it's working class jobs. Basically, he's communicating to the world that he thinks blacks and Hispanics have shit jobs. I'm sorry for my language.
Trump can't win with you. Because I
don't understand why he's making these unforced.
But isn't that some of the moderate electoral presidential language you want to hear? That sounds like you wanted to hear if I take the first part of your call here. Because there he is appealing to a more general. He's not being all radical. He's saying, no, they're taking the jobs of the blacks, which is true. These people come in and they lower the price of employment, of labor, the cost of labor, diluting it and making it cheaper for all Americans. And it happens first with, the low income people and all that, and the blacks, Hispanic areas. So it's not a lie, but isn't that more of the moderate commentary you wanted to hear?
That's not moderate to me.
But you're saying let's win the undecideds. Let's win the undecideds, the ones in the middle. Isn't this some of that commentary?
If you want to win, you got to get the undecideds. Why are you making it a racial job issue? It's not about race. It's about working class jobs that are being taken. Not black jobs, not Hispanic jobs. But every time he talks about the migrants taking jobs, it's black and Hispanic jobs. It's working class jobs. But he's framing it in terms of race. Why?
Isn't that policy? You said he's not talking about policy, and there he is talking about policy.
Yeah, but he's talking about it with the wrong words. If I was in his team, I would get him to use the right words to communicate a point. He's making unforced errors in these last few weeks. We need him to be on point. Come on, bro.
I disagree, man. I think he's pissing off all the right people, and I think the errors were happening before. And that's why he brought in Corey Lewandowski. That's why he was shaking things up. That's why he told his supporters in that one rally, hey, my genius advisors keep telling me not to attack personal attacks and do this. What do you guys think? And then roar from the crowd. Like, do it. Be you. I mean, this is just how I see it. That's where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Yeah. And then on top of that, he's talking major policy. The same things he's been hitting on is like border, crime, blah blah blah. But I don't want to discount. Look, I like that you're bringing it up because I mean it sounds like you were a supporter even back in 2016. And honestly, you're echoing some of these criticisms that some of the Trump supporters from back in the beginning have kind of been saying, like, hey, he's amazing, but he could be even better if he just tweaked these things. So I think that's where you're coming at it from. I mean, you're apparently a Trump supporter from 2016. I don't want to discount it. You might be asking though for something that doesn't exist. Okay, you might be asking for someone who's not Trump, basically, because in some way, shape, or form, at some level, we kind of have to accept who he is. But I don't want to discount the criticisms because I've heard these. I've heard these back in 2016, even that he could be even better if he just didn't rub these people the wrong way and said it kind of like this. I don't know. I'm not saying that's wrong, but you in some way, on some level, he is who he is, and I like who he is. I don't like this. I don't like the GOP around him. And I felt like, personally, it felt like a lot of GOP and less Trump lately until recently, especially with the cats and dogs.
Right. Well, I understand his unorthodox approach. I understand the fact that
they're only talking about him, man. That's a win, man.
And I don't want him to be a politically correct machine. I like how he is, but I'm just be more precise in these waning weeks. You could just.
But how much more precise do you want it to be? He's saying they're eating these animals, man. They're not from here. They're primitive. They're not supposed to be here. And the other side, the establishment, the deep state that I'm here running against, wants them here, and they don't care about you, the American people. Do you need him to be more specific? What more? How much more policy you want? Let's go crime. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, you notice you're adopting the fears of the criticisms, and like I mentioned earlier, I was nitpicking, but it has its merit. I truly believe. But you're also on top of the ones that have merit. It feels like you're adopting the same attacks that these rhinos and women have against him. I don't know. He's just full of grievances. Talk about more nice things and good things. They'll say policy, speak policy, but what they're saying is stop being so negative and be positive. That's what they're saying. And you're adopting the you got to win the middle and the undecideds and not be, why say cats and dogs? Oh, that's just, and immigration, that's just too tough. It's just too mean. Speak about groceries. And it sounds like, have you noticed you kind of adopted those as well?
Have I noticed that what?
That you've adopted those lines of attack as well?
When you put it like that, you're giving me pause because I don't want to turn into any of those demographics that you just outlined.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm offering is just some, as a Trump voter, a Trump supporter, trust me, I'm gung ho for Trump. It's just that I want to see us win, and I'm concerned about losing in the face of these kinds of unforced errors, as I put them. But I understand your point.
I think you might make a point.
I have to accept. I accept him for who he is. Maybe he's making a political calculus. Man, he won in 2016. Who am I to challenge his wisdom? I'm just saying, objectively, from the sidelines, I'm just looking at it and I'm just like, you're giving them ammo, bro. Just be a little bit more disciplined in these last few weeks. And if that sounds like a lib woman, I guess. But I just want him to win.
No, I don't think entirely you're coming at it from a like lib woman or something like that. Honestly, like I said, what you just said, it echoes some of these, just the guys who've been supporting him from the beginning and just really watching every detail, and just kind of like some a point of criticism to be better in this politics game. So honestly, a lot of that is that. So it's not all of your commentary. It's only a couple of them that's like. It feels like the lib woman adoption here. Like, oh, speak about policy. Stop being able to talk about grievances. What do you mean, the truth? You mean you don't like the truth? Sorry, it's nasty. Yeah, it's a nasty world. Okay, and they're doing it to Americans. But only that part. Only that part.
Yeah, and I guess the only difference is the people that are criticizing him usually about these things, they don't want him to win. My criticism is coming from a place of, man, I want to get you over the finish line, and you can make these points in a more stronger Trump way than using controversial headlines that I mean, the cats and dogs comments was funny, fine, but it's rooted in two or three.
The Taylor Swift comment, you really didn't like that one, huh?
Only because it's hate, and I know I'm listening to Bond now. Going back.
Yeah.
Listen, and we know hate is never a good thing, you know, and the fact that about her that he would hate her just because she endorsed Kamala, gave no context for it, all caps, sounds very angry. And we know what anger is. It's a tool of the devil to cause overreaction.
Yeah,
So
but
what
you're
is
just
he
saying
doing?
that because you heard Bond Network say that.
No, I heard it because it was revealed to me through my personal spiritual journey. I went to the Bond conference back in the last one that we had in Orlando.
Oh, for real? Nice.
Yeah, bro. I went to that was the last one you guys had. I wish I would have another one.
Just you wait, sir.
Yes, sir. But I'm telling you, bro, I took a picture with you. I'm cool with you. I just want to win.
Me too,
I just
man.
want
I'm just
to
saying
win.
though. I'm just saying on the hate. Look, you, and I'm not saying Bond is wrong. You heard Bond say that having anger is evil, and anger is the spirit of Satan, and it really having anger is hate. It is evil. It's the very same thing. So that being said, it's like those are those words, and then there's the meaning of those words, and the meaning is what? The meaning is having anger. Can you tell me? And we're both talking about a man we haven't met. Fair enough. Blah blah blah. But can you really tell me out of most people in the public eye, and out of all these politicians and in the world that you're watching right now, can you really say Trump is this angry person and hateful angry person, despite him typing the word hate, and I hate Taylor Swift?
No, he's definitely not. He doesn't walk with He doesn't operate with anger or hate as I've been observing him.
I get the very same impression, and that is the meaning of what Bond is saying with that. The meaning is if you have anger and hate, not if you type it.
So if he types it, so you're saying he didn't type it with the spirit of anger. He just was trying to communicate a message that he really doesn't like her.
That's my impression. I don't want to go too far and say what's in the man's heart. It's a man I haven't met, but it is a man I've been watching for many years operate. I gotta say, I don't see him as a man who operates with this anger and so hateful and yeah.
But here's the thing, Nick. I've been monitoring him very closely since 2015. He's never used the word hate towards a person, and the first time he uses it is against Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, right. Right before an election. Yeah.
You got Nancy Pelosi up there. You got I can see. He's not saying it about none of these women. He's got crazy Nancy. The first time he uses hate in all caps is Taylor Swift.
That is a funny point, man. That is actually a funny point. It's like, dude, you wanted to bust out the hate word. You could have busted it out on Nancy Pelosi, on all these people. You had to do it less than 60 days before the most consequential election. That's a funny point, man. That's a funny point.
You're starting to see my point, bro. Same thing with that Springfield, Ohio. He could have made that point with other stories.
No, on the Springfield, Ohio, I disagree. He won with that. He is killing with that. And people are talking about what he is thinking about, what he's calling. They're fact-checking him, which is great. Fact-check him all day. Please fact-check him. Trump, no way. There's no way. Please fact-check him. And they're talking about it in the media. Remember, this is the media that hates him, that would rather, if he says a true thing, Trump says true things all the time, and they'll never report on it. They never do. But if he could put the truth in and wrap it around this controversial statement that's at least I heard someone describe it like this, and I think it's so true. Directionally true. You got a winning formula. The media's talking about you. Free publicity, fact checks. You're winning. That's how I see that one.
Okay, well, we'll see on November 5th. He's got my vote. Just like how we said to Russia, if you're listening, Trump, if you're listening, be more disciplined in these last few weeks, brother.
I hope he hears you.
A little more discipline, and after you get in office, bring it back on 100 times harder. I just need you to get on point these last few weeks because they're going to demonize. They've already been demonizing you, but don't give them ammunition on a silver platter, bro.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying he should listen to everything you're saying, but I hope he hears you. Yours is one that he deserves to hear. I supported from 2016, and I appreciate some of the commentary. I mean, I appreciate the whole call, but I appreciate even some of that commentary as well.
Thank you, brother. This is not the last time I'll call. It's the
Please
first time
call
I'll
me
call,
again.
but it won't be the last time.
Appreciate that, sir.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Take care.
Yes, sir.
We got Ohio in the house. Who's this?
This is Ronnie from Ohio.
Oh, no way, Ronnie, man. Thanks for calling my show. You've called my show before?
Oh, yeah, in the past a
I think
couple
a few
times.
times. Yeah. Well, welcome.
Yeah, we chopped it up a couple of times. I know I called you once. I think we were talking about how important the vice presidential picks were going to be.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, but real quick, do you when Trump brought up the story about people eating dogs and cats in Ohio, did you believe the story when you heard it?
When Trump said, I believe what the residents of Springfield, Ohio are saying. That they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the birds. I have no reason to doubt them. Now, you know what I mean? Like, what reason do I have to call them liars? So
Not so much even going as far as calling them liars. I think you're a pretty skeptical person.
Yeah.
I think you usually hear things and you kind of proceed with caution. But I think if Trump says something, if he's the author behind it, I think you usually just kind of take it for what it is, and then also sometimes even try to defend it without necessarily knowing.
Well, what's he wrong about on this one?
I'm so shocked and amazed that people think that that's like actually going on.
What's so shocking about it? Because you said I'm a pretty skeptical guy, and I think that's a fair description. But I really, really, honestly, Ronnie, without Trump or anything, I don't need to suspend disbelief that much to believe that Haitians are eating animals in the streets. Come on, Ronnie, have you seen Haiti? You don't need to suspend your disbelief. You don't need to be like, just look at Haiti. Look at other Haitians telling us, yeah, this is what some people in Haiti do.
Okay, let's do it this way. How many pets and dogs and cats and birds do you think have been eaten since Trump brought it up?
I'm not sure, honestly. And honestly, according to the media and according to, I believe, I forget who it was, but I think the police in Springfield, Ohio, according to them, no credible reports of Haitian migrants eating someone's pets have come through. I think that's the last reporting I saw. I saw Laura Loomer post something about some police report with a so-called I didn't read it, so maybe I should stop here, but a so-called credible report of a Haitian migrant eating a pet. But last I saw, there are no credible reports of this, according to the police and stuff, of that specifically, of Haitian migrants eating someone's pet that they own. But notice how you have to be so specific. You have to be very specific to discount everything else. To discount the crazy, out of control driving. They're killing grandmas. They're killing children. And you saw that the Haitian migrant killed a grandma, right? The Haitian migrant killed a kid after crashing into a school bus. And then of course the videos, pictures, and countless reports of these Haitians just going into parks and eating, maybe not someone's pets that they own, but eating cats, dogs, and birds.
Okay, so you pointed to the point that I was making. You said no credible sources come out to like justify the story, and that's why I'm amazed. That's why I'm amazed that so many people still believe it just because Trump said it, and so many people believe it and went as far as to start sending threats to government officials. They had to close government buildings. They had to close schools because people have heard this story from Trump and they believed it. And then went as far as to literally making threats against these people.
But those were hoaxes.
Terrible. Say that again?
But that was all like hoaxes. Did you see they were like hoaxes? In fact, they were coming from like they were like false claims. There were all these and they were coming from like out of the country. overseas.
Yes.
You see that? Springfield
to my
facing
kno-
threats from overseas. This is from PBS.
Yeah, to my knowledge, nobody got shot, nobody got killed, to my knowledge. I agree with that part. But again, that didn't necessarily change the fact that people started making threats and then coming out and just kind of just talking really bad about people that are Haitian, just because of this kind of not so much fabricated story, but at least exaggerated story. And Trump is he's not to blame, but he definitely is a primary. He is somebody that you can pretty much blame it on if you want to, but I'm not making that argument.
Okay, two things.
And that's problematic.
Let me put it like this. What I want to ask you first. Okay, you know what? I'll say this. One thing that I think I even criticized on my own show was how robotic the right-wing conservatives, Trump supporters are. And I pointed out how they were sharing this video of this black lady killing and eating a cat. They had body cam. This is in Springfield, Ohio. They had this body cam footage going around of this lady killing and eating a cat. And the police were like, why are you doing this? And all that. And they shared this and they were like, look, the Haitians are eating cats and they're eating someone's pet. This woman apparently turns out to be an American citizen. American citizen for just the past 6 years. I still don't know where she was before that, but an American citizen, no less. So all this about, look, Haitian migrants. Look, you'll even see people in my own chat right now. They're saying, there's video of it. There's video of it. And they're pointing to that video. But that video is not a fair video to use because that was not a Haitian migrant, blah, blah, blah. But let me ask you this, Ronnie. Yeah. Let's say you had Irish people raising hell, just raising hell in an area. And this story went around of Irish people are stealing potatoes. And that story ended up being wrong. And then I'm here talking to you and I'm like, Ronnie, the Irish people are ruining the city and they're like out there doing all this stuff. And you just keep saying, but they're not stealing potatoes. Would you see the disconnect of reality there? Would you see the focusing on this small error just to discount the truth that is being talked about here?
Okay, so I think, and I like the example that you used. You said if it were Irish people doing something and you and I were talking about it, that's one thing. You and I are not running for president of the United States. Mm-hmm. We don't have that platform. So you and I can have conversations and we don't have as much responsibility for the ramifications of what happens after, whatever else might transpire once we stop talking. But Donald Trump is on a debate stage knowing that there are millions of people watching this, literally around the world. We got people around the world watching this debate to run for president of the United States. So he has a bigger responsibility to stick to things that are truthful and factual, and then to have a point. I think he should have spent more time talking about Kamala's record and not some story that is being exaggerated.
You're not even what? Sorry again? Say it again.
Instead of talking about a story that's been exaggerated and probably fabricated, but definitely blown out of proportion, he should have been talking about Kamala's record and attacking his opponent.
But he did.
Instead of he
was like, "What did she do?" He's like, "Folks, you guys." She's like, "Oh, sorry. Go ahead."
Yeah, I was gonna say he spent more time talking about Haitian migrants. He spent more time talking about his rallies than he did attacking her record.
Okay, Lindsey Graham. But you know what? Even Lindsey Graham had a good criticism saying, hey, when Kamala said this and that about the economy, Trump's team should have been absolutely prepared for that and been like this. We had the economy like this, and you guys had it like this. And so even Lindsey Graham had a good comment with that. But man, you're like saying it's like these piddly facts when Trump, what more did you want from him when he was basically saying, hey, American people, this lady is literally in office. So go and do all the things you're saying. Like, what better criticism of her record do you want?
Okay, so two things. one, my issue with him talking about the story is that now instead of us talking about a small number of people, at worst, talking about a small number of people in one city doing this stuff, now you got people all across America looking at Haitians with the side eye because of what Trump said. That's something that I have an issue with.
But what did he say?
With
You said. Did I cut you off? My apologies. Go ahead. With regards,
no.
Because you said, I wanted to point this out because you said you earlier a moment ago said all the horrible. I may be paraphrasing, but you mentioned all the horrible things people are saying about Haitians. So I wanted to ask you. Let's say I say Haitians. I don't know, like Haitians are bringing up the car insurance by like 3 times in Springfield, Ohio, because they're crashing everywhere. Is that a horrible thing to say about them?
If you said that and it was factual and it was relevant to the conversation, I wouldn't have an issue with it. But if it's not factual, or it's possible that it's not factual and it's irrelevant to the conversation, there's no point in bringing it up. And I still wouldn't take much issue if it was you doing it. But if we were on a debate stage running for president and you brought up something that was that was not factual and it was irrelevant and it's going to have ramifications to it, then yeah, I take issue with it. So it's a lot of Haitian people walking around that don't eat animals, don't eat pets, and people are looking at him with the side eye because of something Trump said.
I hear your point, man. You're saying he's got this responsibility, and I hear your point. I'd say he showed that responsibility by using that responsibility to inform the public about something that's really happening that they're totally fine with inflicting on the American public. He's there debating this person to be president of Americans and in the United States. I personally felt like he did show responsibility by doing the tough thing and telling people in what you might call an inaccurate way, but it's not even that inaccurate. Haitians do eat, and they're being pictured, and we're being told that they're out there in Springfield, Ohio, eating the ducks, eating the dogs, eating the cats.
Listen, I've heard.
And here's the thing about that. The thing about that, Ronnie, is that you don't need all the Haitians doing it. You just need the lowest, like 1 to like 10%. Those are the people in any society that bring the whole society down. It's not all. It's never all. It's never all. Even in Haiti right now, even over there in Haiti where they're from, it's not all even over there. No, I've collected a whole bunch of videos actually of what seems to be like Haitians who don't like those things about their country and are, they have this awareness. They're aware. You have to not be that to be aware of it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not even all the Haitians. It's just like the bottom 1 to 10%, which is enough. You got to understand this, Ronnie. It's enough to cause issues.
The bottom line is people shouldn't be afraid that if they're walking down the street and it's a Haitian person, that they might get their pet eaten. That's the biggest point that I'm taking away from it. I don't want people thinking that their animals are in jeopardy. But that's what's going to happen when you got Donald Trump saying that. Instead of saying things that Kamala Harris did as a senator or things that she did as a attorney general or whatever, he didn't attack her on those things enough. He spent too much time talking about something irrelevant and not truthful. And now
but it's totally relevant.
People aren't dying because of it, but it's still, like I said, it's got ramifications.
But it's totally relevant.
Words matter.
It's totally relevant. They've brought in a almost half of their population in numbers of a totally foreign people that's completely different. So different that they're eating these animals. They can't drive. They're causing major issues. And it's like Americans they commit crime. They got issues too, but it's so much so that it's strikingly different. They've bust them in and plopped them into this place where nobody wants them. And this is a sign of what they do to America and Americans. And it's totally, totally relevant. It's totally relevant. You can't say it's not relevant.
What, Nick, you think that Kamala Harris went and handpicked some Haitians, put them on the bus, transported them to Springfield and said, all right, we're going to turn y'all loose in this park. Go eat the animals and the pets. You think that's what happened?
No, she didn't tell him to go eat the animals and the pets. You're adding to it. But yeah, she very well.
He did all the other stuff though.
She could have. She brags about it. She says she brags about it. She's like She's like Biden and I let in 100,000 and we gave them temporary protective status because blah blah blah. She brags about it. What are you talking about? She did everything everything but go. Yes, Ronnie, she did everything but, and she may have even done this part. She did everything but handpick the Haitians and shake their hands and say, "Welcome to America."
Oh my God.
No, wait. Why are you saying "Oh my God" to that? Tell me where I'm wrong. She brags about it.
Problematic. It's just problematic.
Well, tell me how. Tell me how. Because maybe I'm getting something wrong here. But so far, everything I've said, I believe to be factually correct.
Nothing that's going on with people having their pets eaten is relevant on the debate stage between Trump and Kamala.
It's relevant to the people in Springfield, Ohio.
Oh my gosh!
Wait, don't say "Oh my God." Say something.
How many people have you talked
to? It's relevant. The Haitians are relevant
Ohio?
The Haitians are relevant to the people in Springfield, Ohio. Or do you disagree?
I agree. Haitians should be relevant everywhere they exist. This is Earth.
But they're specifically relevant to the people in Springfield, Ohio because of the problems they're causing.
The problems that they're causing.
Correct.
That's where I take issue, when we start blaming an entire group of people because of one or two people doing something. Imagine us saying something bad about a white man.
But it's not one or two.
Two white men in the past 2 months to try to kill former President Donald Trump.
But it's not one or two.
Two white men. How many pets have been eaten since?
No, but
Donald
that's
Trump
not the
mentioned
point.
it?
That's not even one or two.
That is
they're
the
tripling.
point. We had two.
They're tripling they're tripling car insurance there all
Nick,
of a sudden.
Nick, hold on. Imagine
you had all the residents of Ohio. They're driving and they were fine. They had their car insurance at a certain price. Boom, Haitians arrive in the news. You're seeing them crash everywhere, and boom, your bill goes up 3 times. You're going to tell me that the Springfield residents of Ohio were just always driving like that, and you're going to tell me that they tripled the car insurance because of 2 Haitians? No.
I mean, Ohio already is probably top 10, if not top 5 worst state for drivers. That's already a problem, and it's not just because of the Haitian population. So to try to blame a group of people for other people's insurance going up just based on their race, that's ignorant, and it causes issues. Like the caller before, he said a lot of stuff I agree with until he referred to Kamala Harris as Donald Trump's enemy instead of his opponent. And I'm like, well, why she got to be the enemy? Why are they enemies and not just opponents? And it's because the political, temperature in this society is so hot, and people on both sides want to fight with each other and threaten each other and go to the point of pointing guns at former presidents. And that's terrible, to just talk bad about a group of people.
But it's not bad if it's factual. It's not talking bad. It's just saying they're not supposed to be here, and they're not like Americans. And you wouldn't want your area, Ronnie, to be like Haiti. And so it's quite relevant to those people, but to you right now, it's like, no, you want to talk about being too mean. You want to talk about just being mean to people. It's not about being mean. Look, let's say they committed no crimes at all. Let's say they committed no crimes at all. Why do the people of Springfield, Ohio have to take it because Ronnie says you can't condemn people and be mean? Let's say they were committing no crimes, but they're cooking up birds. They're cooking up birds. Well, hold on. Go ahead. What did you just say?
You can't condemn an entire group of people based on the actions of not even a few, but just literally 1 or 2.
But come on,
if that were
first
the case,
of all, you're saying literally 1 or 2. That's not true.
Two white men have tried to kill Donald Trump in the past 2 months. So if we can condemn an entire group of people based on the actions of 2 people, we would be condemning all white men. But we're not going to do that because that would be ignorant.
But it's
so
not
to
about
see a video of 1 or 2 people, Haitian people. So to see a video of 1 or 2 Haitian people eating animals that they shouldn't be eating, to try to condemn an entire group of Haitian people based on that is equally ignorant.
But
you don't see that?
No, but that's deflecting from the point. That's deflecting from
you don't see that.
No, but that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. You don't need to do all that. There's no one condemning an entire group Okay, you don't need to go there.
Oh, come on.
Well,
That's a lie. If
how
you get
come-
on X.com, you'll see a bunch of them being condemned. You'll
so
see it.
because you saw some mean comments online, people of Springfield, Ohio just have to take it. You can't condemn it. Look at this person on X. Look at this person on. Look at this mean thing. This person on X. Look at they're condemning Haitians.
That is not what I said.
So
that's not what I said
but
at all.
you're saying that to deflect from what the people there are saying. The people the people who live there are saying this, and you want to say, but look at what they're saying on X.com. They're condemning an entire race. It's like, yeah, there's people that are mad, Ronnie. Yeah, people are mad, and guess what? Anger is evil, and they're wrong for that. That doesn't mean they have to just take it. That does not.
Cool.
Yes, anger. That does not mean Americans. That doesn't mean Americans, and in this case, residents of Springfield, Ohio, just have to take what you're saying, which you don't even believe. They're saying it. You don't even want to believe it. You think it's conspiracy or something.
Oh,
It's
no,
like have you even? It's like you don't want to
of-
look at Haiti. You don't want to look at Haiti. Guess how? You want to know how Haitians are? Look at Haiti, but you don't want to believe that. Instead you want to point to X.com. You want to point to people online and say, look at how hateful and condemning these people are of a whole group. It's like, yeah, Ronnie, let's shake hands. I'll agree with you. Anger is evil. That does not mean people of Springfield, Ohio, have to take what you're talking about.
That's not at all what I'm saying.
It's essentially what you're saying.
It essentially is. Then you're admitting that what you just said is not what I'm saying.
Because you're saying all this. Everything you're saying is to turn away and deflect from the reality of Springfield, Ohio.
I disagree. I think I know for a fact that I know more about Springfield, Ohio than you do. So speaking as a direct source, as opposed to somebody getting caught up in propaganda and getting caught up in emotions.
That's true. You might be right about that. But look, that still doesn't change the fact that people in Springfield, Ohio don't have to take this just because
they don't have to take
because
what?
People are condemning. They don't have to take all these Haitians in their area. They were given temporary protective status by people they did not elect, and maybe some of them elected, but and they are not, and they are acting like Haitians in America.
So what's your recommendation to the people of Springfield regarding the people, the Haitians that are there that they don't want there? What's your, before I jump, I know you probably want to get some other calls in.
Yeah, thanks,
but
Ronnie.
what's your advice to
Trump.
the people of Springfield?
Vote Trump. And don't be angry. Anger gets you nowhere. It's going to get you saying things that aren't even true.
Amazing.
That's what I'd say to
All right, brother. I appreciate you letting me have
Yeah,
some
Ronnie,
time.
call me again, sir.
Yes, sir. It was good.
Thank you. Real quick super chats and then kill these calls. And by kill, I mean take the calls. And we're just going to talk to them all nice and all that. Ryan Moon with the back-to-back. Whoa, people have been super chatty. What's going on here? Sorry, I got sucked into a call there. Ryan Moon with the back-to-back super chat says, I said there was a council meeting, not a video. Oh, sorry. Let me back it up. Let me back it up. We got Sailor Kelso says, truly a genius. Trump's rhetoric do not provoke assassination attempts. Appreciate that, Sailor. Modern Gentleman with the back-to-back super chat says, they're eating the geese out of the pond. Those are white people's geese. Oh, Lord, not the ducks out of the ponds. They're eating the dogs. Thank you, Modern Gentleman. John Zimmer with the super chat says, emotions are generous. Thank you. Says, emotions are ego-driven thoughts. Don't let these emotions fool you to remain on the wide path. All is well outside of the imagination. Lies are just lies. Thank you, John Zimmer. Ryan Moon says, Nick, I need your advice. How do I get rid of this fat gut? Oh, okay. Are you doing bodybuilding stuff, Ryan? Because the reason I ask is because I need you to get radical. If you're on I'm cutting and I'm bulking and I'm doing bodybuilding stuff, it's time to get radical. Skip a meal. Don't worry about your gains for a moment. And see how little food you need, really. Also, do some running. I know I hear a lot that lifting heavy is how you lose fat. I don't know. I hear this a lot, but I don't know about y'all. I would lift and eat, and I got fat, but I also got some muscle, and I was able to do the bench press challenge. And then I ate less, but still lifted, and I lost fat, but it was maintaining strength. And then when I did a whole bunch of soccer, like a bunch of soccer, I went like this, like just gone. So those are my thoughts on that, Ryan Moon. Ryan Moon also says, we gonna ignore the town hall 2 weeks before the debate of the residents yelling at the council they saw a lady kill a small cat and eat it? Thank you, Ryan Moon. Carver says, confirmed cannibal and dirt eaters would never eat a dog. Carver, I think, said, if you have even one cannibal in your society, that's kind of a problem. You know, they have babies. Now you got 10 cannibals. Ryan Moon says, I said there was a council meeting, not a video. Yeah. I was talking about somebody else, Ryan Moon. But there's people who are pointing to this one video, and that one video, the liberals are saying, see, the Republicans, they don't know what they're talking about. They're spreading misinformation because that one video is not of a Haitian migrant, even though people are saying it is. It wasn't. But such a small thing to focus on to discount what's happening, which is people are saying that these Haitians are a problem. And then all the crash reports and all that. I showed you the compilation of the crash reports. People are mad because Trump saw the town hall of the residents describing Haitians eating animals, and Trump is the only person that believes these residents. Thank you, Ryan Moon. Ryan Moon continues, says, everyone mad at dogs and cats comment is basically calling all the residents of Ohio liars. They hate American citizens of this country. It's like, don't be so quick to line up with the media trumpet. It's like, hold on. The media is like, I don't know, it's not pets, uncredible theories. And focusing on this little thing, nitpicking. You see why nitpicking pains me so much? Because usually 9 times out of 10, nitpicking is done in the wrong way. It's someone who has on an ego trip and wants to deflect and wants to derail a point being made. So now you see why it pains me so to nitpick. Ryan Moon finishing it up here with the back-to-back super chats. Thank you. Says, what amount can I donate for you to hang up? Okay, so we're done with that. Sorry, I got sucked in there. We got Zenny, I believe, Canada in the house. Thank you, sir. You're on the air.
Yo, what up, Nit?
Hey. How you doing, sir?
Brother? Blessed and highly favored. So I got a couple. Well, first off, I guess I wanted to talk a little bit of Ronnie. We love Ronnie, right?
We love Ronnie. No, Ronnie's I like his questions. His questions were great.
He's a little disingenuous, though, you know? It's just like, come on, man. Don't you see that, like, when you drop, let me see, what was it? Population of Ohio, 58,662. And now they say that there's roughly, like, 12 to 15,000 Haitian immigrants. So let's just say there's 15 because, you know,
yeah,
it's probably 15. So that's 25.57% of the population.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just drop, you know, equivalent of 25% of the population into the population and just be all right, well, everything's just going to be okay. These people from Haiti are just, you know, they were just eating dirt cookies or whatever, and, like, you know, who knows what they were doing over there. But we're just going to put them over here now, and everything's just going to be fine. I don't think you can really make that argument, you know.
It's such an unloving thing. It's so not love. It's more of the same mentality behind all the people who went there to try and help and save the Haitians, like the Clintons and all that. It's like,
oh yeah, I mean, like, Hillary brought them all over here, man. What the?
It's a mess, and it's like, it's not even in. It's devoid of reality. I mean, how
and I'm not
else do I
saying,
put
like,
it,
yeah,
man?
your average Haitian is like a bad person or anything like that, but it's just like the law of averages. You're gonna get a couple of them. Yeah, like you said, one cannibal spoils the bunch. You're one petty eater spoils the bunch.
It's not all the
Like,
Haitians.
yeah,
They're
you
not
don't
all eating
want that
dirt.
around
Yeah, sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, yeah, you just don't want that around you. Like someone like Ronnie, I'm sure, like, he would not want to live in just like an area of 1,000 recent Haitian immigrants.
Yeah,
he would not want to live there.
I honestly think people don't really know just how different some of these places and people are. And it's not every Haitian's eating dirt cookies. In fact, from what I can tell, and I don't know that well, but from what I've seen, I'm not just sitting here reading stuff and just believe. I'm looking into it a little bit. From what I can tell, it's not all the Haitians. It's actually not even close to all the Haitians eating dirt cookies, but it's enough. Yeah, it's enough of them that points out the, like, kind of deeper problems in the society. And look, the bottom most people, if left to run amok in a sense with no order, bring a whole nation down, and that's what's going on in Haiti in my opinion. It's not all obviously, but yeah.
Well, Haiti's really bad, man. Haiti's
It's
like,
really
if you really
bad.
look into Haiti, it's like the most cursed nation on ever.
It's really
It's like
bad.
they can't get anything going, and it's just worse and worse and worse. And now they're coming over here, and then Kamala says we can't even send them back.
It's wild, man. It's not even thinking
and
right.
then Kamala made that law. Kamala and Biden made that call. They were like, yeah, we're giving them protected status, and yeah, we can't send them back anymore.
And
So
that
it's like,
doesn't.
what?
That's not
Like, get outta
justifying
here.
hatred against Haitians. That's not justifying.
No, we love our Haitians. But
It's
like,
not
please,
justifying
like,
any
come
of
on.
that. It's not justifying any
Yeah,
of that.
I'm a base Canadian, man. I'm going full, like, yeah. We've seen what immigration does over here.
Yeah.
Rampant immigration. It's not good. It's not good. We made diversity our strength, and it became our greatest weekness. And I've seen it
100%,
firsthand.
man.
But I got a couple other stories. So
Go ahead.
I don't know if you guys cover this today, but do you guys cover what happened in Lebanon today?
Yo, I was going to. I forgot to open up with this. Oh man, are you talking
Bro,
about
this is like
the
most
Hamas
insane
bombs?
story ever. Yeah. Like, okay. I don't know. Like, can I drop it? Yeah.
No, talk
So-
about it. Talk about it. Speak on
Yeah,
it.
like, so basically in Lebanon, Hezbollah is like their fighting force, right? And apparently they all have these pagers on them or
Mm-hmm.
something. And today, like, I don't know, 1,000 of their pagers just exploded all at the same time. And so you know who's responsible for that, right?
Well, they're
Bibi
talking about
Netanyahu.
it. I believe they're being quite proud about it, and that's not a hidden thing. You can. I'm trying to look up where I put all my reporting on this, but I was going to open up with this. Yeah, Haaretz.
Like the craziest story, right?
They're all
Sci-fi.
saying, yeah, they're saying Mossad themselves. I believe, if I'm getting this reporting correct, they're saying, yeah, we did this, and this is how we did it. I mean, if I was Mossad, I would do the same thing. I'd be like, look at what we could do. And
Yeah, it's like, yeah, look at what we can do to you. Like, we just explode. Like, 9 people died, like 2,000 people injured.
And
it's like, it's insane.
And so what basically what happened, I'm trying to, where did I put my reporting on this? But it's like the reporting is fascinating because the level of this operation is, from what I can tell, quite significant. I mean, the things they had to do, you got to understand, you have all these operatives with pagers, and these are all brand name or whatever. They all get them where they usually get them. What Mossad had to do was they had to subvert the supply line itself. They had to subvert the manufacturing of these devices to put little bombs in them, and then to have the people who use these pagers, Hamas and Hezbollah and all that, use them unwittingly, just like they normally do, not knowing they had a little bomb in their pocket, and then to set them all off at the same time using probably a captured signal system of some sort. It's incredible. And
it's like next
and they're
level
all over
movie,
Twitter.
like,
They're all over
sci-fi.
X.com. I'm not going to show you the images, but it's gruesome. They got holes in them. They got holes in their hip,
Oh,
in
yeah?
their
There's,
hands.
like,
They're missing
images of the
fingers.
holes?
It's gruesome.
Oh, wow. I haven't even been on X yet. Yeah,
There's
no, I don't
videos of
see
it,
that
dude.
kind of- but I kind of do. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, I saw that today. I was like, wow, no way they made them all explode at the same time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, are we sure that they're pagers? Are we sure that it's not just phones and that they can do it to all of us at any time? Like, that's the thing I'm wondering.
I'm trying to. Where the heck did I put my links? I'm pretty sure it's PETN, a type of like organic TNT or something like that, in pagers. And I mean, I don't think they're using high. They might have phones, but I think they're using low technology. Is how you. I mean, if you're using a phone, if you're Hamas, if you're Hezbollah using a phone, yeah, your communications are being seen. But you use more primitive, more low technology to circumvent that kind of stuff. I'm trying to pull up my reporting
but like,
here.
Imagine
I'm pretty
that-
sure it's pagers.
Imagine that. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Imagine that the Mossad could do this to like anyone's phone, though.
I've saw people.
Imagine
thinking
they
that.
have like a frequency that can make your iPhone explode at any time. You know.
I know.
And when they just addicted us to these like devices that can kill us at any time. Imagine that.
My phone's been out of my pocket ever since I heard about this.
My phone is right next to my head right now. Mossad, don't do it.
Oh man, I'm trying to find this video it's this like Jewish lady it's like this young Jewish girl selling phones over there in Israel.
Oh no!
And she's like, and she's all like cute and like hot or whatever. And I'm trying. Oh, I found it. Okay, folks, do you think this is how Hamas? Do you think this is how Israel did it? You'll probably see the video in a second, Zeddy. But I'm wondering, do you think this is how Mossad did it?
מה קורה?
תשמעי, פונים זה עסק יקר, ובטח כל מכשיר עולה 6,000-7,000 שקל, לא בא לי להשקיע משהו כזה.
וואלה, יש מכשירים כאלה, אבל יש גם מכשירים כאלה.
Zenny's getting his hand blown off.
Yeah. Dang. All right, no, I'd buy a phone. How many can I buy 2 phones? She's
buy
cute.
2
Israeli
phones?
girls. Like,
Yeah.
They got the milkers.
I just oh man.
I also disavow. But okay, one more story. I don't know if you guys covered this, but so do you guys cover the story about the young black man in Chicago who just went on the train and killed like 4 people sleeping on the train?
No, I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, it happened like 12 days ago or something like that. 2 weeks almost. And like
4
it's just like
sleeping
crazy
people
how,
on
like, that
CTA
happened.
Blue Line train. No, I have not heard about this.
Yes, yeah, September 4th. And it's like that's like a mass killing event, you know? That's a mass shooting.
I believe according to some intelligence agency, 4 or more, right?
What? Yeah, 4 or more? Is that what it
Yes.
is? I don't know.
Correct.
Oh, okay, yeah, well
the
that's
definition
4,
of
yeah.
a mass shooting.
But I don't know. You don't really hear about it, right? Didn't hear about that one. But it's like how many times does that happen? Like you just slips through. Like he's like he just killed 4 people, so it's not that. And it's like in Chicago on the train, so no one really hears about it.
But this is weekends in Chicago. Maybe not necessarily this gruesome, but it's American carnage, like Trump put it, right? American carnage, the way Heather McDonald put it. You know, what else do you call the streets of black neighborhoods in America? American carnage. Absolute
Right?
carnage.
Yo, you should bring this one up with the JLP.
I will. I'm gonna show it to him.
He's gonna be like, that guy looks like a thug.
But there's this like the criminal, the out of control criminality.
That's rampant.
It's rampant, and
it has a color.
It has a color, and it's important to point out because it's totally been allowed. It's like there's no love to the black people when you just
swept under the rug and
swept under the
rug,
totally
letting do crimes
ignored
again and again.
Yep, and just no love. And again, we're being told that you gotta have love and you can't be racist, and we love the minorities and black people, but really, it's so unloving. It's so crazy, the hate, because look, they're being told. They have the vast majority of them, and they could be well educated. They could be coming from money. The vast majority of them have this chip on their shoulder, and it's being justified. When you tell a whole, how unloving do you have to be to tell a whole group of people you are justified in your anger? You are. They are going. They're just going to get deeper and deeper into hell. And what does hell look like? Murder, lie, hatred, like. It's all there.
Yeah, and they're killing mostly their own people too.
Yeah.
It's like, it's crazy.
When you justify hatred like that, how you're not gonna get better, you're gonna get worse.
Yeah, no, it's not good for anyone involved. You need to get over this victimhood stuff. Everyone needs to get over it, and just try to make America great again by voting for Donald J. Trump.
and becoming the love we want to see. Competent individuals, so that Trump can have a little bit of backup too. We take the reins. Like, hey, Trump, we got it now. So yes, vote for Trump, and
we all got to
work on your life.
In our own lives. We all got to be the Trumps in our own lives.
Nice.
In our own communities.
Zenny, anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, man, I'm good.
Call me again, sir. Always a pleasure.
All right, blessings, brother. Peace.
Yow. That's the calls. That's everybody. Appreciate everybody calling me. Isn't it funny how the mind works? I came into this this stream, and I was going to mention about the vices in the mind. And then I was like, guys, I'm going to edit tomorrow's Manhood Hour intro. And I don't know, if nobody calls me, I'm just going to edit this stuff. And Sorry. Okay, sorry. It's my fault for organizing wrong, but it's just what we got to do. I ended up having a whole bunch of calls. I ended up having a whole bunch of stuff. The mind is crazy. The mind is truly crazy, folks. And everybody knows this. Isn't it crazy how everybody knows this? And they all agree. They call it different things. They call it mental illness. But it really is all just thoughts. It's really all just thoughts. It's the problems, the mess. Yeah, the devil wants your soul. Ain't that crazy? Anyways, we'll get into more things tomorrow. We'll leave all this for tomorrow. Appreciate all the support. Let me check the super chats real quick before we go on this fine Tuesday. Thank you for the generous donations, everybody. Carver, Ryan, everybody. Let me check. Buy me a coffee real quick. buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. Look at these plantation dudes. Jake Husden. I hope you're still here. I saw your coffee earlier. I didn't shout it out, but I did see it earlier. And I'm seeing it again. Thank you, Jake Husden. Thank you, someone and the other someone, for the very generous plantation dudes. You guys love the plantation, but we're gonna do this long plantation day one of these days. Soon. Very soon. Thank you, Pats, for being in the chat. Very nice. Kevin Howe with a very true statement and something we must do, something the Anchor Baby must continue to do. Anchor Baby has to slow down and stay in the present. Whenever he's not slowed down, he's not in the present. Amazing. Okay, look, I'm done. I'm done, y'all. I'm out. What else do I have to say? Nothing. See you tomorrow. Yeah. That's it. Peace. See you tomorrow. Take care.
We show a little decency and form a neat single-file line in front of the register.
Oh, hurry up! Brand new bag for bro, but I didn't pay for it. I don't like spending that cash because I'm trying to savor it. Secret formula, I went and put flavor in. I do not fuck with no playthings, I can't let no haters in. Sponge boy, get back on the grill. The customers already waiting, they already paid for the meal. Squidward, you been through the deal. Keep watch for that little boy that's plotting on me, I know he gon' steal. He gon' need some foreplay. Go get some tissues. Crush the crew, toted the mess. Mess with the game, you get all of these issues. I just